Oh, hello there. Yes, well, it's a good news week, isn't it? Yeah, very good news about Assad going. But I would say that, supporting the Islamists. But, well, isn't Assad an Islamist? And if he isn't, then shouldn't he be? Yeah, it's always good to see the statues being kicked over, as the Redskins might have sang back in the 80s. Whatever happened to them? Anyway, yeah, they get to go, which is good because bad dictators need to go. Good dictators, of course, the ones on our side, need to stay. Very odd, I think, that the world we live in, whereby there can be good and bad dictators and good and bad people that slaughter their own civilians indiscriminately. But that's just apparently realpolitik, and I should learn to live in the real world. Anyway, yes, which leads us neatly on to today's, yesterday's, as it was, bit of ridiculousness in the Daily Telegraph, which was from Zoe Strimple, naturally. Why do the left march against Israel but not Russia, Iran's mullahs or the Taliban? And of course, most of you will be saying to yourself, well, that's blindingly obvious, Zoe. Yes, indeed, because we don't supply arms and or material support to those regimes, do we? No, they have appalling human rights records, particularly, around sort of genocidal conflicts, but I guess it's a bad genocidal conflict that they do. Yes, so Russia, Iran and the Taliban, the British government is taking action against them, so why would we march, Zoe, other than to make you happy? Why aren't you marching against all regimes that indulge in really, really nasty behaviours? And the answer is, well, because of your background. And that's the game we're going to play, hierarchies of racism. Yes, which leads us neatly, of course, to internships, which I was hinting at strongly yesterday, because about once every couple of years, maybe sometimes it's as much as 5, sometimes even I think as much as 7, there is the inevitable gift to racists everywhere, which is a job somewhere which very briefly won't allow, in inverted commas, white people, in inverted commas, to apply. The latest one is MI5 internship, which is open to final degree university students. For some reason, some of the press have started to say pupils about it, but no. And it's for a whole 10, 11 weeks with MI5, MI6 or GCHQ. So yes, there might be as many as 6 of these posts up for grabs for a whole big 11 weeks. Oh my God, what is the world coming to? It's so dreadful and oppressive when you're white. Maybe not. Anyway, this was in the Daily Telegraph. White British students not allowed to apply for a security services internship. Decision described as blatant discrimination and racist by the usual suspects. Come on to them as MI5, MI6 and GCHQ try to increase diversity amongst their ranks. Yeah. Now, you would have thought that actually having people from diverse backgrounds in the spying agencies might be a good idea. They might spot things coming like, I don't know, major armed insurrection which is about to sweep all over one of the most destabilising places in the Middle East. But I guess, if you don't have any non-white people, you're not going to see it coming, are you? Hint, hint. Anyway, yeah, so we had this from GB News, in particularly Darren Grimes. Oh my God, he was positively orgasmic in one of his things. Blatant discrimination, inverted commas. Yeah, white Britons denied the chance to apply for security service internships as agencies ramp up efforts to increase diversity. Yeah, we had Martin Dorby and inevitably Suella. Yes, she hates a bit of racism, does our Suella. Don't really understand that so much because she's quite dark-skinned. Yeah, I wonder if anyone's told her. Yes, and some plenty of others. But the really odd thing about this was there was exactly the same story as this last year. Now, you might say to yourself, oh, this is really, 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 really dreadful that they're allowed to do this. Well, they are. There are loads of jobs where, we don't allow certain people to apply. You might think of all those transphobes who get very upset with the idea that a trans person might run a services for, actual women that have woman written on their birth certificate. They get really upset about that, don't they? But oddly, that isn't blatant discrimination. No, not in that case. Of course not, because different rules for different people. Yes, Iran, Israel, etc. That's the way that one works, isn't it? Of course it is. Of course, realpolitik there. Yes, but actually, back in 2023, I recall Toby Young, yeah, and Lord Young's boy, and Jacob Rees-Mogg getting very upset about the whole thing because obviously they really wanted to apply for those internships. But you will get this. But the thing that gets me most about this, and I was having this conversation at work the other day, is it's open, for example, to Roma types. Now, do they count as white? I don't know. Answers on a postcard, kiddies. Because most of those people, travelling folks that I've worked with in the past, certainly look very white, although they do come from very disadvantaged backgrounds. I don't know. What do you reckon? Is there blatant pro-Roma discrimination out there? What do you think, eh? Are all those folks who get hounded off bits of green grass wherever they can find it actually living the life of luxury? And shouldn't we punish them more? Possibly. Possibly, eh? Anyway, it means that people will point to this for the next 2 or 3 years. A short while ago it was the RAF one. They got very upset about that. But there was a huge dearth before that of about 5 years where there was nothing at all apart from one at the BBC. And I used to get people in my comments section that would complain enormously that there were all these jobs that they couldn't apply for. And it was dreadful, and you ask them to point at one and they would invariably find something from 5 years previously. Yeah, it was that bad a problem at the BBC because of course we know that that's run by Islamists and communists and junior doctors. Dreadful. Yes, anyway, that'll keep them happy. Christmas for bigots. Lovely. Do have a gorgeous Monday. Stay less than windswept, hopefully. Yes, my pussycat had to stay indoors for the weekend, but I think secretly he quite liked it. Anyway, have a lovely one.